Ever wonder what happens when you poke around where you shouldn't? What if the place you explore holds secrets that are better left undisturbed? Let me take you on a journey to a night that turned deadly, a night that changed everything for a group of unsuspecting friends. In a forgotten town shrouded in mystery and silence stood a house filled with whispers and shadows. This house, once a grand mansion, had fallen into disrepair, its walls now crumbling, its windows broken, and its halls filled with the echoes of the past. The townsfolk avoided it, speaking in hushed tones about the curse that lingered within its walls. They called it cursed, haunted by the spirit of Clara, a woman who vanished one stormy night many years ago. Clara was a beautiful, enigmatic figure known for her kindness and grace. But on that fateful night she disappeared without a trace, leaving behind only questions and a lingering sense of dread. Some say she was taken by the storm, others believe she was murdered, but no one knows for sure. Clara's spirit was said to haunt the house, her presence felt in every creak of the floorboards, every whisper of the wind. Her story became a legend, a cautionary tale told to children to keep them away from the old mansion. But legends have a way of drawing the curious, and one Halloween, a group of friends decided to test the boundaries of the unknown. On that chilly Halloween night, the group of friends, filled with a mix of excitement and trepidation, dared to enter the house. They had heard the stories, but they were young and fearless, eager to prove that the tales were just that, tales. With flashlights in hand and bravado in their hearts, they stepped inside, unaware of the horrors that awaited them. The air inside was thick with dust and the scent of decay. The floorboards creaked under their weight, each step echoing through the empty halls. The friends joked and laughed, trying to mask their growing unease, but the house seemed to breathe around them, its dark corners hiding secrets they couldn't begin to fathom. As they ventured deeper, the atmosphere grew heavier, the shadows longer. In the hallway, a dusty mirror caught their attention. It was an old, ornate piece, its surface clouded with age. But as they approached, they saw something that made their blood run cold. A faint smile, hollow eyes staring back at them. It was Clara. The friends exchanged nervous glances, their bravado fading. The mirror seemed to pulse with a life of its own, the image of Clara growing clearer with each passing moment. Her eyes, filled with sorrow and longing, seemed to follow them, her presence palpable. As night fell, the house came alive with whispers and sobs, the air thick with a sense of impending doom. Jenna, one of the friends, felt a chill run down her spine. She turned, her flashlight casting eerie shadows on the walls, and there she saw her, Clara, standing just a few feet away. Clara's eyes were filled with a sadness that seemed to reach into Jenna's soul, her presence both terrifying and heartbreaking. Jenna gasped, her heart pounding in her chest. She tried to call out to her friends, but her voice caught in her throat. In an instant, Clara vanished, leaving Jenna trembling and alone. The house seemed to close in around her, the walls whispering secrets she couldn't understand. Panic set in as the door slammed shut behind them, trapping them inside. The friends huddled together, their flashlights flickering, casting eerie shadows on the walls. The air was thick with fear, the house seeming to feed off their terror. The lights flickered, and Clara's voice echoed through the halls, filled with sorrow and desperation. One by one, the friends began to vanish into the shadows, their screams echoing through the empty halls. The house seemed to swallow them whole, their presence erased as if they had never been there. Jenna, now alone, felt a sense of dread wash over her. She knew she was next. Trembling, Jenna made her way back to the mirror. Clara's image was clearer now, her eyes filled with a mix of sorrow and anger. "You shouldn't have come here," Clara hissed, her voice like a cold wind. Jenna felt a chill run down her spine, her heart pounding in her chest. Desperate, Jenna lunged at the mirror, hoping to break the spell that held her captive, but as her hand touched the glass, Clara's hand shot out, grabbing her wrist with a grip like iron. Jenna screamed, her voice echoing through the empty halls as she was pulled into the mirror, her reflection disappearing into the darkness. The mirror shattered, pieces of glass scattering across the floor. The house fell silent, the whispers and sobs fading into nothingness. By morning, the house was untouched, the mirror gone, and Clara's whispers grew stronger, luring new souls into the darkness. The legend of Clara's curse lived on, a warning to those who dared to venture into the unknown. The townsfolk continued to tell the story of Clara's curse, a tale that grew with each retelling. Some said that Clara's spirit was searching for her lost love. Others believed she was seeking revenge for a wrong done to her. But whatever the truth, one thing was certain: those who entered the house never came out the same. The house stood as a silent sentinel, its walls holding the secrets of the past. The friends who had dared to enter were never seen again, their fate a mystery that only the house knew. And as the years passed, the legend of Clara's curse grew, a dark shadow over the town. New generations grew up hearing the story, their curiosity piqued by the mystery of the haunted house. Some were brave enough to venture close, but none dared to enter. The house remained a place of fear and fascination, its dark history a reminder of the dangers of poking around where you shouldn't. And so the house stood, a monument to Clara's curse, a place where the past and present intertwined. The whispers of the house continued to lure the curious, the brave, and the foolish, each one adding to the legend. The story of Clara's curse was far from over, and the house waited, its secrets hidden in the shadows, ready to claim its next victim. So if you ever find yourself in that forgotten town, and you hear the whispers of the haunted house, remember the story of Clara's curse. Remember the friends who vanished, the mirror that held their fate, and the spirit that still lingers, waiting for the next soul to wander into its grasp. Some places are better left undisturbed, their secrets buried in the past. But for those who dare to explore, the haunted house stands ready, its doors open, its whispers calling, and Clara's curse waiting to claim its next victim.